Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night chat. Rosie will be here. The link is not working. I'm about to send a link to her inbox. But I already got some good guys here. We got Rick is your six covered. We got Pop's Quest, and I got Blue 823.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night chat.
I missed that. And I'm gonna start with Blue 823. Do your intro, buddy.
I've got nothing really going on too much. Come check out the channel. I put up not very many videos, but every now and again I throw something out there. But that's it. Thanks for the invite, as always.
All right, Pop's Quest. Rob, would you like to say anything?
Not a whole lot. Just thanks for having me, and we're going to be having a 5,000 sub contest coming up. I may some point in the evening here, I might throw a couple teaser things up for you guys to look at. Coming soon. Looking forward to the spring time, and that's about it.
Cool. And Rick, is your six covered? Would you like to do an intro, man?
I appreciate it. Thanks, TR, and everybody out there. No, I've been blasting out some videos. Hope you guys enjoy them. A couple funny ones. But other than that, let's have fun tonight and see you guys. Doing a little research right now for a video I did earlier. Got a video that's coming out anytime now. Should be popping up on your browser. But let's get started.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. I appreciate it. Rosie O'Kelly, I sent you a link inbox, so you should have a link. If you can't find it on Google, it'll be on YouTube. So YouTube inbox PM.
Yeah, and I'll say right off the rip, because I got in through Google Hangouts this time, I don't even have the other video playing, so I'm not able to see the comments. But I'll try to open another window. So everybody that's out on the side chat, hello, welcome, thanks for coming. I'll try to look over there eventually. Hey, there's Rosie. Or is she there yet?
Yeah. Yeah, she's trying to get in anyway.
Damn it. Bing, bing.
Google or YouTube is doing a lot of changes, that's for sure. So things are different. As on the panel here, you may notice you have the toolbox anymore, so you can't do your down at the bottom like you used to be able to do. They took that away. So that's one change I can tell. And if you when I type out there, I got a crown. I'm a king. Okay. So yeah, there's some YouTube changes going on. So
Is that a damn doily you got on your coffee mug? What the hell? Somebody crochet you something?
It's paracord handle.
Okay, that's manly. There for a second, I started worrying.
I won this. I got it in today. I did a video on it earlier, and I said, hell, I'll use it for my chat tonight. It's a Yeti mug. Yeah, it come out. Yeti. Won it from C-Max Arms.
Yeah, those are badass, man. That paracord handle, that I've never seen nothing like that before. That was really, really cool.
Actually, Trees Blowing won it, and he forwarded it to me, or paid it for to me. So, and there's Rosie. Hey, Rosie.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sound good.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we're having really bad storms out here right now. It's been blowing about 50 miles an hour, and a lot of power lines are down in service. So I hope you can hear me. It's been in and out all day and all night.
Well, you can go ahead and do your intro and anything else you want to talk about, Rosie, if you'd like.
Okay. Just want to make sure the sound level is okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah. Hi, everybody. Rosie here, and generally every other week every week or every other week I'll do a update on my Rosie Murphy channel. But again, Happy New Year to all of you. Nice to see you, Pops and Blue. And Rick and TR, always a pleasure to be here. It's been kind of interesting to see the last week and a half as we've been up near this 10,000, 20,000 level on the Dow. How it's almost becoming like a psychological, build that wall. And we're having a lot of trouble getting through that. And it's part and parcel to a market, like I've said before, the last couple of weeks. I get kind of a funny feeling that we may be at some kind of turning point here coming up. As I've said week after week, we've been coming up. The economy's been recovering sort of since 2008. Well, this is our 9th year. By March, it'll be our 9th year of, quote, recovery. And, the market itself and a lot of the investments have really reached very, I would say, historically pretty pricey levels here, what they're asking you to pay for a dollar of earnings. There's a lot of puffery. There's a lot of, what would you say? There's a lot of built-in expectations here. They go up in smoke if they're not met. The employment report that came out for December wasn't that great. No surprise to anybody who has followed this channel, TR's chats, for the last year and a half that I've been on, speaking about the decline of malls and retailing and bricks and mortar retailing. Places like Macy's, Kohl's, they were taken to the wood shop, those stocks, and just beaten to a pulp, because that's not where the action is anymore. And corporations like Sears on their last legs. It's a very tough environment for retail. So I'm very cautious, continue to be. I don't know if that'll ever bottom out. Of course, there'll be some segment of the population that likes that sort of being served and service, and especially at your upper end department stores, to be able to examine things and have that feeling of being special and somebody kind of kissing your ass and making you feel like you're a millionaire, even if you're not. So, but that's not for the masses anymore. And it's been interesting to see these retail stocks really crater in here. And retailing is one of those things that's very hard to turn around. It's very difficult to change that. How do you fight that kind of trend of decline when foot traffic goes down, or people just use your mall as basically a window shopping vehicle, and then they just get on their cell phone and run a price comparison, and then just usually end up buying on Amazon, have it delivered, have no problems with returns, printing out return labels, things like you can imagine trying to overcome that kind of situation. So I am very cautious on things right now. I think we've built in great expectations here. And I think everybody has already built in their wildest earnings hopes and things. And I just concerned when I've seen this before, when a president takes office and then all of a sudden, boom, this stuff just marks a pivotal turning point and things. So I hope that's not the case for our president-elect, but it remains to be seen. But the 8 years of basically going almost straight up is a long, long time in market terms. So it's like being on a roulette table and red has come up like 8 times in a row. Do you really want to bet on red? Maybe the table's a little skewed towards a red number. I'm not going to press my luck on that. So I'm very, very cautious in here.
Well, I think, and I could be wrong on this, do you think a lot of these jobs that are supposedly coming to the United States or reinvestments into the United States, because we're hearing about business after business that's, bringing jobs to the United States or opening up, it's all based on optimism, isn't it?
It's all based on press releases and statements. I mean, how many times have we actually had follow through on something that somebody was said they were going to do? You know, had a feel-good factor just to kind of get the president-elect off their back and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they know when he takes office, he's going to have much bigger fish to fry than what's going on at General Motors and places like that. So I think you have a little bit of what we call give up in business. You give a little bit because you know you'll get a lot later. One of the things that's pushing up stocks is this expectation that the corporate tax rate is going to be cut significantly and make the United States more competitive and help bring some of that money back and maybe create some of those jobs here. TR, at least that's the expectation. Does it work out in actual fact? I don't know. Probably the odds are better than it was, say, 25 years ago when our manufacturing was just beginning to have its feet held to the fire. I mean, what's left of manufacturing now has really emerged as a lean, mean, competitive machine on a worldwide basis. The only wild card is the damn dollar. And the strengthening of the dollar, we're actually acting like a shock absorber. So countries like Britain and China can actually take advantage of lower currency rates and get that stimulus of helping their exports. So it's just typical of that role that the United States always plays in being the shock absorber and the one who takes the punishment. I don't know if Trump is going to like that. When he comes into office, it's going to be, we could either end up like the 1930s with trade wars and tariffs, and one country pops one on and the other does a payback tariff, and it just that beggar thy neighbor thing, we just go back and forth. So it's going to be very interesting to see how abrupt the U-turn is going to be, because corporations may be very surprised that Trump is not as accommodating as they think he is. I think right now they think they got the world by the short ones, and it's going to be interesting to see. They're just kind of laying back now and just observing, but expect the tweets to continue. Expect this to be a very vocal president, a very in-your-face president that's not going to care how people take the message. And it's going to be something that people are going to have to get used to. And there's also, Linda said about automation, and even if we the trend worldwide is to automation, because no matter where you are in business, there's always that perception that your labor costs have to be trimmed. I don't care if you're in China or Vietnam or wherever. So definitely automation is going to be a factor no matter what. So it's just a question that the cost of robotics and all that's come down dramatically. So expect that to do more and more. Now, do I feel like that'll lead to a poor economy? I'm not sure. I think there's some offset in manufacturing and production and those kind of things. So new applications that we haven't even seen yet for that type of thing still.
Well, I feel there's a lot of optimism in corporations right now, or industry. I should say industry. It looks like a lot of optimism, and I'm like you. I hope it follows through. I know he has good intentions. We'll just have to wait and see how they play out. And what do you think? Are you feeling optimism as far as corporate taxes, or at least just a self?
I think all that's being priced in now. The thing that I'm concerned about, the thing that really worries me, is we may be reaching the end of our efficiency drive that we've been on. Now, Pops and I have a few miles on us here. I mean, we've been around the block a few times. We remember when manufacturing led to jobbers, and jobbers to wholesalers, and wholesalers to retailers, and retailer to the customer. Well, because of the power of the internet and the efficiency of pricing, we've crushed out a lot of those layers. We've really flattened our distribution base in this country, and we've wrung out about every efficiency that you can wring out of that. When you look at a company like Amazon, is on the bleeding cutting edge of that, getting costs as low as possible, yet service as high as possible. And I just wonder where we go when all of those sort of efficiencies have been wrung out. We can't flatten down, or it's basically as flat as it gets. Yeah, what Linda calls disintermediation. I mean, that's been the big factor that's really driven profitability over the last 25, 30, 40 years, has been, you know, the internet giving pricing power to everybody here, and making our economy hyper efficient in economies around the world. I just worry that we're coming to a point where any gains now are going to be very painful. And you know, the low-hanging fruit has been picked. We're coming to a point now where any gains in profitability and growth, it's going to be very, very difficult, those gains to come by. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. You may see the lights flicker here. We're having terrible storms here with high winds. So if I go out, you'll know what happened here. So
the taking out of the middleman is obviously cost a ton of jobs. You know, I think everybody knows that. The direct to consumer market is the future. You know, maybe until China takes over. I mean, I don't know, because the way it is right now, everyone has a direct to consumer contact, you know, Amazon or you know, eBay or whatever.
That's my point.
I'll tell you a story that happened to me back in 9, 10, whatnot. There was a Hedging America, which is a drawer slide manufacturer, could not get a decent wholesaler in town because the wholesaler wouldn't buy enough product. So Hedging America, which is a huge corporation, told his salesman, instead of going to your wholesalers, go directly to the guys using those drawer guides and offer them a killer deal, and just go around them, just run right around the play. And I had a salesman show up at my door, and he said, we'd like to get you using our product. And I said, man, y'all shit's way too expensive. And he said, well, how about $13 a slide? I said, I'll take all you got. And I've been buying from him direct since then. And anyone that walks in my door that's a middleman for another slide, I tell them what I'm doing, how I'm buying, and what the cost is. They shake my hand and walk out. They don't even waste their time with me.
Yeah, I just think there's just nothing really left. You know, all the juice has been sucked out of it in terms of that. The margins are getting as low as they can possibly go. The pressure on manufacturers for lower prices. You know, it's like a Walmart. How much more can Walmart squeeze out?
Yeah, that was just one step. That was just one step closer to the consumer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of them going through a wholesaler and having, you know, giving people territories, they went straight to the guy that's just before the person buying the product. And if the damn consumer could actually use that product on their own, they'd probably go straight to consumer, you know? And look at drug companies. Drug companies used to, you know, drug companies used to use salesmen to sell their product. Well, that got too expensive, so what did they do? They started buying advertisement. I know several drug salesmen used to make a lot of damn money, and they're out of business. You know, they're doing other things now because the drug companies have found that all they got to do is throw one ad in the Super Bowl, and 60 seconds worth of "you're going to die if you take this," and 10 seconds of "I'm going to make your life perfect," and throw a girl in a freaking bathtub, and you'll go ask your doctor. That's what they tell you in the commercial. Go ask your doctor. All the companies are going straight to consumer, direct market. I mean, everything middle is getting sucked out, and that's the future, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, we've come to that point in efficiency where any gains are going to be hard fought. To grow markets and you know, expand is extremely difficult. It's you're not going to have the price edge anymore when you come in. You're going to have to find a new way to a new advantage to sell on. And you're right about drug people used to come by our clinic 10 years ago all the time, and they're calling them detailers that would come in and set up. And well, a lot of the Justice Department turned against that anyway because of vacations for doctors and, you know, pay for prescription writing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's easier to just stimulate the demand than to go out there and try to sell doctors to prescribe it. It's better to have a patient come in and say, I want to try this. You know, what's doc say? Okay, I don't see any risk to it. Let's give it a shot. You know, it shuts the patient up, and it, you know, it's an FDA approved drug, so there's no risk to the prescribing doctor. Yeah, it's the intelligent way to do that. It's just that on a wide basis, when you think of how much efficiency, how much has been wrung out of these distribution channels and these jobbers. There's really no real jobbers anymore in America. It used to be people that would take 100 times what a wholesaler would take and then bust it down and sell it to the wholesalers, and the wholesalers would work to local distributors. And you know, it's all gone now. It's all gone, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Well, the whole business cycle of not cycle, but how everything is done now. There's a lot of middlemen being cut out. There's a lot of automation cutting out jobs. Everything's gone lean, and you know, and that's just the wave of the future. That's just the way it is. That doesn't mean that jobs can't be created. That doesn't mean that manufacturing jobs going to continue to happen. It just depends on the economy, period. You know, I mean, if as long as companies can compete with foreign manufacturers, there'll be jobs, but they will have to compete. It will be lean manufacturing. It will be, you know, bottom of the line, what we can do to get this done. And but it's happening. This is just a matter of manufacturers figuring out how to do it.
Well, when you figure, you know, when you look at the economy, and a lot of times you can take maybe a too dire look. One of the things when you look back in history is sometimes people get pessimistic when they sense that, you know, growth is done. As I said before, when the U.S. Patent Office considered shutting down in 1910 because they figured everything that had been worthwhile had already been invented already, and they just were going to shut down the Patent Office. And I just think that there's always, human nature is just so infinite in its desires and wants that it's just one of the things that really drives the capitalist system, and we can't really know. I mean, who in 1980 saw the internet? And we can't really know what's around the next corner. Is it through the cycles, economies get more and more efficient and more, you know, as information gets spread more widely worldwide, it's very difficult to get that, what they call an arbitrage edge, where I can get a price edge on somebody else because they don't know what the price is, so therefore I can go in and maintain my margin. So it's interesting when you just see how of efficiency has just parabolically increased, and it just makes everybody uncomfortable on the one hand, but it also makes people more able to afford more products probably than ever before, having cut out a lot of these distribution layers that, as Pop says, this direct to the consumer stuff. And there's a lot of gray market stuff where manufacturers are putting stuff out the back door and selling it direct to consumers through large vendors that aren't fulfilling their distributor contracts by protecting the markets and things like that. So there's a lot of different handles on it. There's a lot of things to be considered, but efficiency reigns.
I think Trump will bring back every job that can come back mathematically, that makes sense, based on the environment that he's going to create. But there will be those jobs that people think will somehow be viable, and that there are jobs that from technology, and I don't want to get off on this technology thing. We spent a whole chat on this one night, but there are some jobs that are going to be gone forever, and then yes, there are other jobs that are created because of that. So I don't want to kind of get off on all that, but as far as Trump goes, I believe he will create the best environment. I look forward to his corporate tax rate. As a business owner, you know, I pay myself a small salary and I take everything else as a Schedule K, and I'm looking forward, trust me. What will that do for me? That will free up money for me to maybe hire that one extra person that I want to alleviate the tension in the shop. I made a funny video back when way back in Obama's term or whatever about I created a job, and it was kind of a funny bullshit video. But anyway, if I can save enough money on my corporate tax rate, I'll step up production, do more sales, and I will hire a couple more people around there to do some of the things that I've been putting off, some of the things that I've been running lean on, some of the things that I want help on. He has the ability to create real jobs based on the environment that he's going to create. And I'm just a small guy, right? I'm looking at 1, 2, maybe 3 jobs as a small business. Think about these big companies and how they're thinking. So to me, it's going to be a good environment to run a business in. And anybody who wants to start a business, now would be a good, healthy time to start some kind of a small business. It really would be.
Well, the thing that the upside of it too is we've commoditized so many things now, and when you're a retailer like a Macy's or a Sears or a Kohl's or a Kmart or a Target, you're really sourcing from the same relatively few manufacturers, say within China or Vietnam or Bangladesh or whatever. So you've lost that edge on, you know, being price competitive unless you're lean and mean. But on the upside, the flip side of that is to build value. What does it force you to do if you're going to go into a business? It forces you to add real value. It forces you to be very innovative and creative with your product. And in a lot of ways, this is what I think is really beneficial to our economy, is this efficiency drive, this productiveness drive forces people to it forces the creative juices to really flow, to make a better product, to make a product that stands head and shoulders above your competitor, that it frees you from the shackles of this commoditization, at least for a certain period of time. So I kind of see that as the upside of, you know, if you want to go into business, you really better have a competitive edge of a product. And I think that's a good thing for all of us in the broad economy when that's done.
Yeah, seeing a few. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with our economy, with our country, with our money, with our debt. We just got to let it play out. I don't know that anybody has any control to do anything about it. You know, the only way our monetary system could be fixed is to totally collapse it and start over again. And that'll be shit hit the fan.
The problem is you don't have that. You have what's called a floating base. It's like being on a ship at sea, and everybody's an economy on that ship. And we're all floating on the sea of currencies that have no real peg to value to them, except for what some government decides to do to devalue their currency. well, gee, what's the impact going to have on us, and the rest of the currencies adjust to that. There's just no, we lack that standard of value, that yardstick to tie things to. I think that's the problem. Until we solve that problem, there'll be, and that would automatically make other countries unable to cheat in their currency manipulations, the things, if it was tied to some standard. I don't know what it would be, gold or whatever, but as it is now, nilly, you can have QE quantitative easings 1, 2, 3 without any regard to what currency, your currency is doing. So I think that's the basic problem, TR. That's the bedrock deal that Bretton Woods and getting off of the gold standard in the 1930s was, we lifted up anchor and we're just floating in a sea of governments doing what the hell they want to do. No discipline, I guess I'm saying.
Yeah, I just don't really think there's a way to fix it. I think we're so far gone, and it's so fast. We dug. The only way it'll ever be corrected, perhaps. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's my math shows that.
That's true. I think some people have to get wiped out to fix it. That's correct.
When it comes to business, I don't know how big business or even medium-sized businesses. It's funny what the government considers a small business. If you look at what they really consider, I'm a micro business compared to what the government says. But hard times, the cycles of the economy are actually good for business. Anytime you have a straight run one direction, or obviously a straight run the other direction, it's catastrophic, or it's doom eventually. The good thing about cycles is it keeps everything in check. You never run one way too long. You learn the hard times keep you lean. The good times keep you powered up to make that next move to hire on people. So any one direction. The problem with the last 8 years is we've had one direction, and that's been is from a business owner's mindset. You've had people thinking, no way, I ain't risking nothing. I'm not stepping my foot in that pile of crap. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm just holding on. I'm waiting. I'm going to see what happens. It's been one great big wait and see, hold on, hell no, screw that. And you can see with Trump, doing what he's doing, that the whole mindset of business has changed. Everything's in play. People are willing to take risks again, opening up their minds on bringing businesses back to the States. It's going to be a hell of a good 8 years. I'm telling you right now. I just don't know how good it's going to be to bring us out of where we are. That's really the caveat. Nobody knows.
Well, it's going to be painful, Pops. I can tell you that. I mean, it's a zero-sum game, right? I mean, those that have the power are gonna dictate the rules. So.
Yeah, right now we're just riding it out. That's all we can do.
That's all I think we're doing, TR. We're just floating on it and riding it out until one day it doesn't float anymore. And that's a point where the musical chairs kicks in, and the last people that don't get a chair, too bad. Your debt was not worth a shit. Sorry about that. And you didn't cash out in time, or put it into gold in time, or stuck it in. You didn't have it in a real asset. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Now I need to clarify something here. I speak a lot about a business mindset. but I have my own personal beliefs too, and I think y'all know where I'm going with that. But so from a business standpoint, things are going to get better. Maybe only for the short term, what have you. You can make some money. You can create jobs. You can do this and that and the other thing. Regulations are going to ease up, I think. Easier to do business, so on and so forth. But on a personal level, I'm not going to stick my neck out. I'm not going to make myself vulnerable. I'm still going to keep investing in the commodities that I've always been invested in. Same old crap I've been preaching, you know, gold, silver, lead, copper, land, you know, done, and food, whatever. So that part hadn't changed on my personal level, just so everybody understands that.
Yeah, I think I like, you've done a good job of investing into yourself and your family, I think. Yeah,
Well, it was an easy decision to make, as you have witnessed it, and I'm going to double down on that or triple down on that in the future. There's no more dirt. There's a finite amount of it, as there are many other things, as y'all know. Lead is a hell of an investment. There's things going on with lead out there that you know, that's a whole nother subject. We can talk about it if you want, but anyway.
That's a good combination, Pops, because your assets have to be defensible. You know, it's one thing to have a piece of land. It's another thing to be able to control and protect that land. And I don't want to always say that you could real quickly devolve into a Mad Max type world, but who knows? You know, we talk about the thin blue line and law and order and all that. And who knows how fast things can spiral out of control. So having lead, to me, is a great investment too, in a very Darwinian sense of making sure your assets are defensible.
Yeah, and I'm talking about actual lead, like freaking bars
yeah,
of
I'm
lead.
talking about lead. Yeah, well,
yeah,
you can also be cast into bullets. So
right, yeah. There's going to be difficulty, I think. Well, I don't know. I mean, Trump may ease up the regulations on lead smelting too. You never know. So that could be a good thing. I think everything's going to ease up.
yeah, it's hard to say. I guess I'm going to hold judgment on. It depends if Trump goes the way of Teddy Roosevelt and sort of not a big lover of corporations and stuff, and when all is said and done, or whether he, you know, he's never impressed me with his what would you say, his what we call Republican values of fiscal ideas and things like business is what America does best and all that. I mean, he's got some ideas of fairness that I think will be very much at odds with a lot of what corporations do. So I think there's going to be some friction there. So it'll be interesting to see, Pops, how it plays out.
Yeah, nobody knows. TR and Rick, y'all can chime in on this, but let me tell you something right now. I mean, if you could go out and find a contact and buy you even just a few 5-gallon buckets of lead, I mean, to me, that's like major hedging on the future of what might happen with lead, you know?
Oh, I know. I got my contacts out there. I got a guy that's collecting it slowly for me right now. He gets a little here and there. Well, he's my casting buddy, the guy I go over and cast bullets with. And he gets a little here, a little there. Automotive market, you know, he works on cars. And you know, it's just wheel weights, but he's continually Now I told him, I was like, don't stop. Him have a bunch of lead. I was like, don't stop.
And the only thing bad about lead is it's heavy. But other than that, it stores indefinitely. I mean, you could leave it out in the rain, snow. I mean, nothing happens to it. You could bury
Lead,
100 pounds in the ground and it'll be there forever.
periodic table. It is a element. Yeah, it ain't going away. Once you got it, you got it.
It's a very heavy one too, and it's very inert. It doesn't rust. It doesn't corrode. You know, it just stays there.
And why can't you shoot ammo when it came out of the ground? You know, everybody's trying to make lead-free ammo. Come on, people. It didn't come flying in on a meteor, and then there's only a certain. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a man-made product. It is a element. Like I said, it's on the periodic table. It came out of the earth.
Yeah, but you can't shoot it because you know it's bad for the environment.
Yeah, we can go down the rabbit hole. I mean, maybe they're just creating all these, you know, lead-free ranges and shutting down the smelting plants to make it more expensive to shoot. Who wants to go down that rabbit hole? You know,
Or better still, just ridiculousness taken to an extreme environmentally.
You know what, though? We talked about wheel weights, but didn't they change the compound of a wheel weight? The newer ones are made out of something else besides lead.
Aren't they alloyed with something so that they don't give up anything to the environment? Or they're sort of bound with a little bit of copper or something to bind them so that they don't free lead into the environment? I don't know.
The new ones are either.
I thought they rejigged the formula for lead weights for balancing.
Yeah, the new ones are zinc or steel. They're not lead.
Yeah, zinc. That's
zinc. That's
it. Zinc degrades, so that's it. Look at our pennies. Our modern pennies are shit in this country.
And that came out of the sky too. We you know, that stuff's not around on Earth or anything, so it's a man-made product. I think if you look on the chart, you go down a couple and over to the right, you might see zinc over there. But who knows? Yeah, definitely get some lead. I got to hook up a TR and do some casting. Try it out. I haven't done that yet.
It'd be fun to do. Pops, do you cast your bullets?
No, but I'm starting quite the lead collection because I got a good friend that'll cast all I want, and he's in need of work. I can supply the lead, so it's a beautiful scenario.
What we call a symbiotic relationship.
I mean, if you just, like I said, I got a big warehouse. I can stack lead to the ceiling and never have to worry again. And that's sort of like my intention. You know what I mean?
On the side note, you need to get with Tactical Midget and take him up on that offer he gave us last time we was down there.
Well, I got my buddy that owns that frame shop that pulls off wheel weights off of freaking 18 wheelers that are the size of your freaking fist. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's collecting pretty quick. So.
What do you think? TR? How much would you be in for to get, say, a melting pot and some casts and whatever else you need? I have no idea.
Pot for, I think a Lee melting pot now is maybe, I hate to even guess, but I'd say 30, 40 bucks, 20 bucks. You're done. You can cast bullets.
And then a resizer, right?
A resizer if it's for a pistol. I resize my bullets, but you don't have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little lubing thing if you want to go that route, or you can tumble lube them is the quickest, cheapest way to do it right away.
Yep.
Or
Tumble
you
lube them.
Powder coat them like Roger does.
Yeah, if you powder coat them, then you need to resize them. But you know, if you just want to get in as cheap as you can, steam pot and a mold, get the tumble lube molds, and just tumble lube them, load them up, and you're done. I done that for years and resize my bullets. All I did was tumble lube them, and they'll work. Cases and stuff like that. Then you got to get into gas checks and all that. But as far as 9mm 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 ACP, 357 or 38, I should say. Tumble lube them, stick them in a damn case. You're good to go.
Guido Congetti. Good. I was going to say Guido Congetti, he brought up a good thing about the toxic fumes in casting. I tell you what, for a lot of indoor shooters, this range over here, they've been having issues with people getting actually elevated lead numbers. So something to think about when you guys are doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What's
don't
up,
cast
Red
the bullet.
October?
That's a good point, Rick.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, Red? Yeah, don't what's in your house. Yeah, do that outside. Do it outside. At the worst, I do it in my buddy's fans blowing, you know, to keep the air moving.
Yeah, do like
And which-
Buck Run 11 does. Do that shit under a freaking overhang, open to the elements. You know, I mean, don't do it in your freaking shop. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Hey, guys, is it me or is it in the chat?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I've been getting an echo. I've been trying to jump in, but I guess I'm having computer issues, but I'm listening. I'm here.
No, that echoes Rosie. She always echoes.
No, you're sounding good. It's all them radios in the background picking up some microwave gizmo gadgets or some shit.
It's all the mercury
She's
in
got
the
the
damn
radios,
thing.
that's for sure.
It's all the mercury and lead in the air. Huh, Rosie?
That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's a few guys that left there that worked there just for the fact that they were getting sick all the time, and they finally went to the doctor and did some testing, and their lead numbers were way up. But that's an indoor range.
Talking about out of range, indoor range.
Indoor range, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have better ventilation. Then that's the problem.
That's
Well, first of all,
the place is old.
yeah, indoor ranges are not my favorite places to be. As a matter of fact, I don't go to them anymore. But I know they're supposed to have a lot of ventilation, like pulling in a lot of fresh air for that, you know, very reason. Obviously, the gases of the shooting and everything. But I guess if it's an older place and they're not up to speed, you know, maybe avoid them because that is kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I prefer shooting outside, but when it's raining, snowing, it always works out pretty good.
I hate to change the subject, but did anybody see Obama's speech?
Nope. I don't watch that asshole.
Nope, me neither.
I've never seen any of his speeches, and I don't care to.
I external talking about it, and I had people texting me about it, and I was like, Obama's farewell speech because I didn't give a shit. Pack your shit and
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah,
We caught a little. We caught a little bit of it. He patted himself on the back plenty.
yeah. At this point, who cares? I mean, he's already out the door. So, what difference does it make? You know?
Yeah,
Not fast enough.
he'll be on the golf course tomorrow. What the hell does he care?
I mean, I'm sure I'll see some highlights on Facebook videos or some crap or whatever. Yeah, I didn't even know he was doing the farewell speech. They're texting me now.
There was only 12 viewers.
Know he was doing one. I would have probably watched it if I knew, just so I could have some information, know about it, you know. But I'm sure I'll catch it. But I'm sure he patted himself on the back and talked about how great he was and how much he accomplished and blah blah blah.
Best president.
Longest string of unbroken job creation in history. The stock market at an all-time high. More people have health care than ever before. Premiums are more affordable than ever before. Blah blah blah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the highlights of it.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the racial divide that he's gonna crank up before he leaves. I mean, he's got to keep that little train running.
Yeah, the first black president of the United States. I don't care how you look at it, which way you look at it. There's a bigger racial divide in the United States in decades. Black president and the racial divide is worse than it has been in decades. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, he's the most racist president we've ever had, and also the best gun salesman this country has ever had. Period.
True.
Whenever you blame absolutely everything that happens to any black person on, what happened 3, 4, 5, 6, however many years ago, 600 years ago. I mean, for slavery and shit, and you keep on it, and from the very first shooting, whenever he was, that could have been my son, that could have been this, up till the very latest shootings, it's still keeping that fucking divide going. And I don't know. And TR, I know that you saw that post I put up earlier with that video with up on the hill with them putting that painting back up on the wall with the it's a painting basically, if you guys didn't catch it, which for one, I don't care so much, except for with everything else has been going on. It was basically, it's a painting that some high school kid made, sent it to a congressman or something like that. And it was of a police officer depicted as a pig pointing a gun at a black person. And there's just black people painted all around. And it's like, don't kill me, don't shoot, and peace and all this shit. Why? And I put it right on the post that I put up earlier, right here, you have government officials allowing a painting like that, which is basically, as far as I'm concerned, if you're segregating a group of individuals, which would be police officers at that point in time, showing them as pigs pointing guns at black people, and you're saying we're allowed to have this up in the building that we run our government out of because it's our First Amendment right. However, if you fly a rebel flag, is it not the same fucking thing? I don't care what group you were to pick on. If you were to put a fire guy up there, if you were to put a machinist or a woodworker or something like that, if you're degrading them in, by the masses and allowing that in a government building, that's racism. I mean, that's
what the fact that it was the Black Caucus that got together and put it back up. Well, that's not the only fact, but I'm just saying the Black Caucus put it back up saying, hey, all cops are fucking pigs. All cops are fucking shit. All cops are the fucking scum of the earth. The officials got together and said that and put it back up. They didn't say it verbatim, but they said it in a way, because they put it back up. Because one congressman took it down. The Black Caucus got together. Racist move, in my opinion. I saw it anyway.
And it's racist isn't the right word, but whenever you single out a single group, I mean, it's not racism. It's something else, and I can't think of the word right now. But I can't believe that. I absolutely cannot fucking believe that a government building, I don't care what caucus it is, would be allowed to do that. It's my First Amendment right. Okay, well then, you know what? You redneck caucuses down in the South, your asses better start putting the old Dixie back up, the stars and the bars, fly them in the windows, put them outside your Congress building, put them outside of everywhere, because that's your history. That's your First Amendment right to have that shit out there. And all this bullshit with ordering that stuff down, it's just, oh man, it just irritates the shit out of me.
You sure that wasn't a training video? That picture on the wall? I'm sorry.
No comment. No comment.
Just kidding, Blue.
No, it's just irritating whenever one sect is allowed to get away with whatever the fuck they want because they are that sect. But if any other sect, I don't want to say even stands for anything, that dumbass walked into a church and shot a bunch of people. You know, he shot people. Who cares if they were black, white, or whatever? If he would have gone into a white church with white parishioners and shot up all the white people, and still, in the video or the picture he took before had the stars and bars behind him, would it have been a big deal then?
It wouldn't even have made the news, probably.
I don't know, that shit pisses me off. Where it's if it's good for one, it's good for all. This bullshit of separating, well, this is our First Amendment right. We can do whatever we want because we're the people that bitch the most, file the most lawsuits. That's bullshit. We're all Americans.
Exactly.
Hey, can I ask you a question, Pops?
No.
Yeah, I'm open.
Okay.
I'm open for the next 3 minutes. Go for it.
All right. So earlier you made that video. Did you kind of get that all passed by? You got over that?
I don't dwell on much, man. I just get it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't let them get to you, man. And I know you don't. It's just you just can't reason with people like that. I mean, your success is gonna equal their hatred. I think that's just the way the world goes.
I don't let people get away with nothing though either. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I roll. I mean, you can say what you want, and I'll take it to a certain degree, but then at some point, I'm gonna shame you publicly, and I'm not gonna let you get away with nothing.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be back in the day. If you did something, the whole town would know. And YouTube is a little community here, so if you want to act like you're anonymous in your hatred, I'm gonna publicly shame you in this little community we got, and then I'm gonna move on. So I know a lot of people said, "Oh, don't feed the trolls, don't do this."
Yeah.
You know what? I've absorbed a lot. I don't really care. I mean, and I respect all my brothers and sisters out there and my friends on YouTube, but at some point in time, you just kind of have to say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna let it go," So
yeah,
it is what it is.
I hadn't seen the video. Evidently, it's something you posted here in the last few hours, but the gun /prepper /bushcrafting gender community, it's only a few thousand people. If somebody's running amok and being an ass, fuck it, call them out.
Yeah, no, it's just a troll, man. That's all it is. But I've had enough of them comment here lately to where I had to do something about it this morning. So anyway, like I said, it's it's just something for me to reference back other people that want to come in and play with me. I'll just send them a link to that video and put them on their way as we do.
That's right. It's like having a resume for trolls now. Please see this. Bam.
Refer to this. You're blocked. Yeah, that's basically why I put it up, because I'm not going to let it go unchecked.
Oh, I know all about trolls. I got one out, or I don't know how many out there tonight. They're not really commenting, but the shit out of this fucking chat. So fuck them. I don't care. Means every time y'all come in and give me a thumbs down, that was a view. So thank you. My AdSense account thanks you.
Or you could fuck them. You could turn off that little option where you have the option of the thumbs up or thumbs down. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, I've done that, man. I mean, some people are like, man, I don't know. I got my Ammo Mafia friends out there now, kind of a different group of guys. I like how they roll and the things that they do. So I try to kind of do things that way a little bit to some degree. And then I got my other videos that I do for another reason. And so I guess I'm leading a double life or whatever. But, they actually enjoy the thumbs down. They enjoy the shitty comments. They feed off that, because if you're a lazy piece of crap and you're not doing nothing with your life, for you to leave a shitty comment, that's like a badge of honor. That's sort of like a notch in the belt. So I'm trying to look at it more like that, because it takes a lot of work to make a good deal happen. You don't just fall into it. I made 2 hits today that came up blank. I won't ever make a video about that, but it happens. So anyway, Red, did I answer your question? I don't mean to leave you hanging like that.
Yeah, no, you did. And I just want to add to that and just say that, I mean, this whole YouTube thing is a community that, when we're successful, we want to share that with everybody. And some people, like that guy, won't take it that way. So, when you do an ammo score, or like if I have a build and I want to share it with you guys, and I do a video, it's because I want to share it. And, if anybody has questions or something, that's what we do here, is we share that information. But some people just don't take it like that, So, but you can't do anything to help them anyway. So I guess, as y'all say, fuck them. So
yeah, lost cause, man. I'm telling you, and it's not, like I said, it's not what they say, it's how they say it. You can come in there and you can ask me whatever you want, but when you come in there and start talking that shit, it's time to make a video on your ass.
Well, one thing about you, Pops, and I had comments on, I had like a stack of ammo and, hey, I bought this at Walmart today or whatever. I get all these thumbs down and all these comments. Just like me, I ain't selling a damn thing. I will be shot eventually. I'm not selling this shit. I'm not buying it to resell it. I'm buying it to...
Exactly.
Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, I got a growing population in my house that likes to shoot, and I want to protect that ability for the rest of my life, and that takes a ton of damn ammo. I don't think people understand that. The whole lead thing, the copper thing, 8 years ain't a long time. Let's use these 8 years to get everything we want to get, and then whatever happens after 8 years could, what if everything goes haywire in 8 years after Trump gets out of office? What are you going to look back on this 8 years and go, oh, I wish I would have bought more fucking ammo? I mean, come on, let's not be stupid about this. You know, like the best video you just, you know, I know you're getting a lot of views on that, TR, is the time to buy is now. And that's that's the truth. I mean, buy low, buy when it's plentiful, buy when it's cheap, buy when it's available. And people look at you and go, why are you buying? It's like, if you have to answer that if you have to ask that question, then you ain't been paying attention. So
Right on,
look at the ammo costs from 5 years ago to what they are now.
Yeah, you got to buy it when it's available and cheap. Available being the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's finally on the shelves.
Except
That's the point I brought up in that video. It's like right now is the cheapest time in the rest of your life to buy ammo. It's time to buy it. Because even if it is still available 10 years from now, so just because of inflation. So right now is the cheapest time to buy it. Buy the shit out of it.
Exactly.
If you've got money to buy ammo, buy it.
Yep.
It's that simple. It really is that simple.
I agree. Yeah, it just becomes a storage issue, but even then, ammo is not that hard to store in a dry place. So as you said, your buckets, you use those 5-gallon buckets and store a lot of ammo and stuff in them.
Yeah, just keep it dry, and you'll be good forever.
Well, be careful in plastic buckets. They crack over time. If you really got a good investment, yeah, don't go down that road. Little by little, put them in metal ammo cans.
Use those things right there.
The government stores their ammo cans and metal ammo cans for a damn reason. And the freaking Russian government puts their shit in spam cans for a reason. They've done all the research. All you got to do is copy what they do. Don't load your ammo into plastic, because ammo's heavy. Put that shit in metal cans. That's where it belongs.
That's right. Plastic ammo cans are for gun cleaning supplies.
Well, metal cans you can stack up 10, 20, 30 high.
Hell yeah.
You stack plastic cans that high, see what happens.
Yeah. It'll look like a shipment from Cabela's first round.
Cabela's or Academy, yeah, you did right.
That's funny.
I know I told the story when I qualified for the 50 cal in the CBs. Ammo can up on top of it. It was loaded 45. Now this was in a late, so it was like 45, 50 years old. That popped that some bitch open. It had been loaded. It hadn't been opened since 1945 until I popped that fucking ammo can lid and loaded up the damn 50 BMG. Fucking round went off.
Exactly. Yep, keep it dry.
Hey guys, real quick, I got to step out. I got to go finish up a project. So I'm listening, but I'm going to step out and I'll try to comment later, okay?
Good to see you, brother.
Take care, man.
All right, bye.
Later, Ed.
Yeah,
I agree on the metal cans. That's usually what I put most of my the ammo I reload. That's where it goes. Ammo cans.
And man, do they get heavy. Oh shit, heavy.
But
Especially
I mean, what do you guys, if you guys go to a gun show and you find the one guy that has a stockpile of the smaller ammo cans, I don't even know what the smaller pistol ones, what are you paying for those? Like $6 and maybe $8 to $10 for the large ammo cans?
This style blue?
Yes.
I don't even know anymore.
Is that the 30 cal or the 50 cal?
This is a 30.
Okay, 30 cal you usually get for $9-10, and 50 cal is usually 13, 14, 15 bucks, something like that.
When I
See,
bought
There's a,
mine, I
there's a
got
lot of Chinese ammo cans out there that you can get on the cheap, so you got to do your research.
It's all about the gasket, guys. Make sure you buy one with a good gasket.
Oh yeah.
This one's actually one that came when you, sorry for the noise, the Federal, when you buy it in a box. But I have the big ones, like, I don't even know what they're for mortars, I think. You know, they're like 2.5 feet tall. But when you fill those up, you can't carry those son of bitches.
The normal cans, the small cans are 30 cal, 50 cal. More ammo cans. And to be honest, I think the 50 cal cans are damn near $15 now. And the 30 out of them, all I can tell you. In the day, when I bought all mine, the 30 cal cans were $3 and the 50 cals were $5. But that was in the 90s. So anything else, when I went to a gun show, I'd buy a couple of ammo cans. Walked out the door with something in my hand.
Yeah, there was a hunting store that I used to go by every day on the way home, and they would have grade like B 50 cal cans for $8. And I got closets full of them now. Don't get me wrong, but I wish I'd have gotten more back then, because I would do just that. I would check the seal, and before I closed them up, I'd Vaseline the seal real good. And not only that, but I vacuum seal my ammo before I put it in the ammo can. But I don't vacuum it. I just use the vacuum sealer to just to seal it up, and then I close the can. But and if you keep your ammo in an air-conditioned environment, it's plenty dry enough. You don't really need to worry about all the desiccant and stuff like that. But if you start to store your ammo in some crazy places, then you need to kind of worry about all that.
They make a lot of different ones. You can do so much with them. You can make barbecues, toolboxes, but they make a 50 cal one, but it's longer than the normal 50. Those are the ones I like because they're still only about that tall. They're doable as far as carrying weight wise, but I don't know what the number is on or what they're for. But it's a 50 cal, but it's longer. Instead of a normal 50 cal, it's about that long. Maybe
Probably one to it's probably one to hang on a turret or a turret mounted so you don't run out of fucking ammo. So because I mean those 50 cal ammo cans, they only hold 100 rounds, and you hang that ammo can and you pull the trigger on a 50 cal and you'll empty that some bitch like quick.
Second.
Yeah.
Well, you're the only one here that's got an actual 50 cal, but
No, I don't have that kind that you hang an ammo can off the side.
no,
of.
you don't have that kind.
But I've shot that kind, so trust me, I know.
Yeah, I unloaded that ammo can, that 100-round belt from my shoulder, and it was like almost touching the ground in front of me and behind me. But that was a 50 cal can. It was, like you said, it was 100 rounds, and was one of the most funnest times I had in the military was qualifying for the 50 cal.
That would be a blast.
You know, the one you got the handle and the little toggle you mash to fucking fire it. And I was shooting at a mountain like 2 miles away.
There you go, refrigerator for an ammo container.
Yeah, that helps. They're fairly fireproof. I think that's what Bizarizage is getting at. put a lock on it. The whole thing of, I mean, you stockpile a lot of ammo, and the first thing you worry about is a fire.
Make sure it has good seals on it too.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do a video on 5/8 sheetrock. 2, 3, or 4 or 5 layers of that is fairly fireproof almost. If you look in most of your fireproof safes, all they do is put 5/8 sheetrock on the inside of the safe. That's all they do. And if you're not trying to secure something, but you're trying to keep something from getting burned up, now those asshole firemen will fucking wet your shit down. So you have to
put the shit out of that.
Yeah, they'll fuck your shit up in a minute with a hose. So what you got to do is you got to protect it from fire, but you also have to protect it from getting hosed down when that shit gets set on fire. So you need to have a way, and that's the whole idea behind a metal ammo can in a fireproof safe. I mean, it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's an expensive way to protect your investment, but it's the way to do it.
Well, I think each layer is an hour rating, so you're pretty legit if you run like 3 layers of that stuff. 3 hours.
Yeah, except for the water that you assholes dump on the fire, but.
Well, yeah, you got to put something around. Put a Ziploc bag around it. No,
Yeah.
Water does it. You know what they make and you'll see it now. It's basically, instead of the paper side, it has like a fiber, and it's a bitch. It's strong as hell. I can't think of the name of the stuff.
Yeah, it's called Fire Shield, I think.
No, not for the fire stuff. It's just regular drywall, and they use it in areas that are, like heavy abuse kind of areas.
Yeah, it's MR, moisture resistant, or
yeah,
mold
that's
resistant.
Tougher than shit.
And it's purple too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a little more, but that's an option as well.
Yeah. So I'm working on. I'm on and off been working on a little project for a video, but it's has to do with fire and ammo and sheetrock and all that shit.
Yeah. Just keep an ignition source away. Keep the fire. Have some fire extinguishers and all the good stuff. Or sprinkler it.
Well, if you're going to stockpile it, you got to protect it.
That's right. Bury it in the ground.
Yeah, well, that's one way.
It won't burn that way.
Yeah, my house caught on fire. It wouldn't be good. And my shit ain't protected. It's just, I mean, I got ammo cans, but none of other than that. There's a lot of powder just on the shelf, primers. It wouldn't be good.
What you're saying is surround and drown.
Run. Is actually what I'm saying. Just run.
Do not make entry.
More than likely, they'll probably do that if they know there's a bunch of ammo in there, but the only ones you really got to worry about are the loaded firearms. I mean, those are those are the ones that are going to get velocity from the rifling. The other ones are going to pop like popcorn and make a shit ton of noise and mess a little bit of stuff up, but it's not like getting fired out of a barrel.
That's true. Yeah. My reloading room would just be a big inferno. It wouldn't blow up. It would just be an inferno.
Where was it? Not too many. It was within 2016 where a fire department, I think it was a fire department, went to somebody's house and they had not even a large stockpile of ammo. I'm talking like 200 to 300 rounds, and they ended up evacuating their surrounding houses. And do you guys remember hearing about that?
No.
No, huh?
Yeah, I know. I saw, but they made a huge deal over a couple hundred rounds because they were fighting a fire. And the guy's like, well, I got a couple boxes of hunting shells and maybe 3 boxes of 22 and maybe 3 or 4 boxes of my 9mm handgun. So they're 300 rounds, maybe 300 rounds of 22 and then maybe 200 rounds of everything else. And they evacuated and I'm gonna have to look that up. And Rick, I'll send you that story because it's fucking.
Sounds hilarious. Like they didn't. I mean, we're probably not. If we know there's a shit ton of ammo in there, we're probably not gonna go in and do an interior attack just for the fact of the firefighter's safety. But like we had a fire, well, this was in the 90s, but it was basically like a Dick's Sporting Goods or something, you know, like that type of store. And there was a hunting section in the back. I don't remember what it was called. But the you know, they had a lot of ammunition, and I remember we basically sat outside and basically did it from the outside. Went defensible.
Well, I've personally been in a video. I was in the video. I don't know if you probably couldn't see me when a guy threw a handful of ammo into a fire off while we were within 2 feet from it.
What an asshole.
I'm not going to name names, but
I heard that one guy wears weird looking glasses.
Completely unsafe. I would never do that in my life, ever.
I'll be right back.
He did it. The guy that did it, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to name names. His wife was sitting beside him while he done it. So it wasn't just me that was involved in this. His wife too. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to take her out. I don't know.
That guy knows his shit, though. He knew what was going to happen, I think.
I remember being when I was in Desert Storm. Hell, we had some burn piles and taking care of some shit, and fucking AK-47 rounds was going off, and it was like, what the fuck? But there again, I mean, without it being in a damn chamber, it's not going to do anything. If it hit, the worst thing that could happen, the absolute worst thing that could happen, if it hit you in the eye, you might could, you know, just a little debris hitting you in the eye.
Hey, next Farmageddon,
you're not.
Next Farmageddon, we're going to throw a couple 50 BMG in the fire. I'm pretty sure it'll have the same effect. I'm pretty sure. I don't know yet, but y'all can find out with me.
I don't know, Pops. You want me to stop in Oakland on the way and pick up a few hand grenades?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
As hot as that fire is, it just melts the bullet, and then the powder goes off. It's all good. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right, I've got to apologize to Rick and all the fire guys. I actually found the story that I was talking about, and I said hundreds of rounds. 75 rounds of ammunition was found. And I'm going to skip. This was, of course, well, actually, I can't believe that. San Antonio, Texas. The department's bomb squad was called to the Southwest Side neighborhood Saturday after dozens of rounds of ammunition were found underneath the home. Let me get, okay, Captain Troy, whatever the hell his name is, the fire department said a family member found a sealed box with about 75 rounds of decades-old ammunition underneath the house. The rounds were about 40 years old, and based on the date written on the box, half a dozen nearby homes were evacuated for 3 hours. There's definitely a big danger because they've been under there so long. They've rusted. Okay. They've been exposed to the weather elements outside, so we definitely want to get them disposed of as quickly as possible.
I'm not sure. I might have read that article before. I believe the captain's name was Captain Pussy.
No, it was Captain Kangaroo, I think.
Oh, but this was the second time that the bomb squad had been called to the house because they had found several shotgun shells in the same house.
I don't know. That sounds sketchy. I'd black flag that house, never to put out a fire again.
Oh, absolutely. You stay the fuck away from that. It's going to blow up. Decade old.
Very uneducated fireman. Very uneducated.
Unless the bomb squad had absolutely fucking nothing to do that day, wouldn't you think that at least maybe one of them would stand up and be like walk up to the pile like that, all that 75 and pick it up, throw it in the back of his truck and be like, I'm going to go home and shoot this later.
Yeah, that was in the one little blue spot of Texas. Oh shit, there's ammo in here. Evacuate. This place could blow up at any moment.
Yeah, call the bomb squad.
My personal thing, and I hope maybe Rick can actually hear what I'm saying, and this is for any house. I don't care whose house it is, unless I've got a person, a family member in my house when it's on fire. Don't fucking go in my house and try to put the fire out. Don't put yourself at that risk. Don't fucking, any fire guy, don't do it. I got fucking insurance. It'll pay for my shit. Even though some of the stuff like photos and stuff I'll never get back again. I would feel 9,000 times worse if somebody actually died trying to put out a fire where they weren't rescuing somebody. You know, just stand the fuck outside, put the water on it where you can, go through the windows, do whatever, but don't ever, I don't know. That's that firefighter mentality though, I guess. I mean, I've always been taught if the ship's on fire, you fucking bail ship and you get the fuck out. And the fire guys are like, hell no, we're going in. I don't understand it. Most of them are volunteers. I mean, we do have the paid services as well here, but it ain't fucking worth it.
I know for a fact that the nearest fire in my house, I timed it one day. I passed by it doing 60 miles an hour, 15 minutes to get to my house. So on fire, by the time they got the call and, you know, rallied the troops and come to my house, they're just here to keep the woods from catching on fire. The house is gone by then.
I mean, if two major, and you know, don't get me wrong. If my fucking stove's on fire and my fire extinguisher runs out and it's still contained to that one little spot, yes, please go in and put the fucking thing out. But if it's because I mean, you see these videos all the time where there's fucking flames rolling out windows, rolling out doors, and they're crawling on their fucking hands and knees with fucking hoses trying to put it out. No, let my house burn. Don't risk your life, and unless one of my kids is in there or my wife. Don't risk your life to put out my house. Don't do it. Especially since I have 75 rounds of ammunition in my basement.
Yeah, if my house was on fire, that's what I would be doing, would be chunking ammo and guns out the window just to save them.
I'll clean these bastards up later.
Yeah, I think that's one of my next projects going to be an escape pod for all my ammo and guns. Like, you know, you pull this, you know, fire, the house catches on fire, you pull this massive thing and freaking escape pod just shoots into the pool in the backyard. You know?
I mean, my safe is a fireproof safe or fire resistant. I don't know how they qualified or whatever, but as far as my ammo, I don't have my ammo in there. I need another safe. I don't have enough room. Kicking the guns in the damn safe as I'm shutting the door as it is now. I ain't got no room for ammo in there, so all my ammo is exposed. You know.
Now, maybe you guys know this. Maybe Rick would know it more than any of us. If you have a fire, we'll call it a fireproof safe to where the fire isn't going to get in. However, the heat around that safe is so intense. What is the external heat of a fire that would have to, you know, basically bake that safe to get ammo and everything else to start shooting?
Well, let me start over. Let me make it this way. First, we'll talk about nothing is really fireproof, right? So let's start with this. You buy a safe and it says, you know, it'll say a certain rating, like fire resistant for a certain amount of time, like say an hour or 2 hours or 10 hours, depending on what you're going to buy. So then you go, okay, if I have my safe here like this is the location of where I want my safe. Will this shit burn for X amount of time? I mean, if you had it right in the middle of, like, say, nothing combustibles around it, it's not going to burn as hot as it would if you had a bunch of shit right next to it. A house fire will get hot. Heat rises, right? So the hottest part of the fire is way up by the ceiling, and it can reach, 2,000 degrees or whatever, depending on what kind of shit's in the house. But then it's basically what kills the safe is duration of time and heat. But more importantly is if you buy a shitty safe, they don't come with a good sealer. Basically, on a good safe, you will see like this really thin black strip that goes around the safe. And what happens is when it heats up, it expands, and it basically seals your safe from smoke damage and water damage. I've seen safes that have done good. I've seen safes that you might as well just had this stuff. They were burnt. They were basically, this was like the day after when we were still doing investigating, the guy had opened his safe to see what was in there. And it was basically just charred wood guns. And so, you know what I mean? You want to buy the best safe you can buy that you have the ability to buy, and then buy it 3 times bigger than you really think you're going to want it, because you're going to buy more guns, and then you can put ammo in it, and you can put all your, you go on vacation, say, and you want to put all your laptops or whatever, you got room for extra shit per se. But they're never going to be there. You can't say fireproof. It's not possible.
Okay. Well, let's just say you're mediocre. Let's just call it a $1,200 to $1,500 safe. How long would that protect in your experience, like the safes that you've seen? I mean, is it just like a matter of an hour or two?
The safe you buy, it's gotta if it has a fire rating, it'll tell you when you buy it.
Yeah, it'll say on the door.
Yeah.
Like on the what would you call it? The fat part of not the big part of the door, but the jam part.
Mm-hmm.
It'll have like a silver sticker usually, or gold sticker.
I could be mistaken, because it's been so fucking long ago when I bought my safe. It was in the 90s safe, and I want to say it said it was good for 1,400 degrees for 30 minutes.
Yeah, it all depends on the rating. It all depends on the rating, and that sounds like a one that you would see in depending on the company. Like Browning would be one of those. Your Cannons, your American Securities. You buy a safe for 2 reasons: to keep people out, and then if you buy a safe that's got fire rating, then there's that involved too. But it goes back to the best you're able to purchase. It's an investment. Like the last safe I had that I left at my other house was $5,000. It was $5,200. And it was the tallest, biggest single door they made. Now, could I fill every gun up? Well, kind of. Just because, like with scopes and stuff, it takes up like 2 or 3 real spots. So they kind of screw you on that bullshit. But we had all our tax information in there, and like my wife's wedding ring and stuff when she wasn't wearing it or whatever the case is. So you have room to grow, which most of us probably here we're gun collectors, right? I mean, I don't buy a gun and then sell a gun and say I'm only going to have 20 guns or whatever the case is. It's an ongoing process that I've started since I was 18, but you want to be able to do that. But drywall, if you never had to worry about someone breaking into your thing, like a lot of people are transitioning over from buying a big ass heavy safe to buying small multiple safes throughout their house just for better access reasons. But you get like the one safe I had, I think it was 1,700 pounds empty. And you can't just go carry that up onto the second floor of your house. It's probably going to end up back down on the first floor after you're done or whatever, or in your basement. So that's kind of I see that as I see a lot of people going that way as well. Going to smaller good safes that you can actually put upstairs and then have more accessibility, you know, if you hear the nighttime thing. And some of you guys that, you know, don't have a family and don't have to worry about kids grabbing anything, it makes it a little easier. But the like Pop's Quest said, he said basically drywall is rated, and if you run enough sheets of that stuff, you can make a safe or make a door, or, you know, you could have a room. Say you have a small room. This is what I want to do. If you have a small room and you just bought the safe door for security reasons, and then just re-sheet walled that thing like 2 or 3 more times, that thing's gonna go through an inferno, you know, before. And yeah, there's gonna be water damage but if it doesn't get to it, you know, you'll have a full room that you could use as a gun room or a gun safe.
Another good thing to use is that cement board that they put under tile.
Yeah.
Yeah, hardy backer board. Yeah.
Yeah, that don't burn. Put it in the fire. That's nothing but fiberglass and rock. You know, that's a good thing to use. So
For sure.
Yeah.
I thought about doing one in our old house, and you basically ran a 3/8 sheet of plywood or 3/8 sheet of steel. Basically, build my own safe within a room, weld it all up, and then drywall the shit out of it, and you'd have a whole room that you could use it as a safe room, meaning like you could run into it if you heard a noise, your family could, or whatever the case is, and you could use you could mount it however you want.
I've been in a lot of high-end custom homes in the work that I'm in, and I've been in and seen safe rooms constructed, and there are people out there still building a shitload of them, guys. But they block wall them. It's center block walls filled with concrete and rebar and ladder bar for the blocks. Then they pour a slab on the ceiling, and of course the floor is a slab. And then they install a safe door on it, and nothing's happening in that room. Nothing, regardless.
Yeah. Especially if you have like a dedicated phone line or a dedicated exhaust system that you can suck air into. You know, if they tried to smoke you out or whatever the case was.
Yeah, that's getting real high tech, but yeah, I mean, as far as saving your stuff, yeah.
They probably move on in that kind of situation.
But yeah, it's cool. I mean, and that's all it is. It's basically, you know, like Pop said, go mortar, go with that rock stuff, or shit ton of drywall. So, Blue, your safe's going to last probably 35 minutes if your house catches on fire, it sounds like.
No, it makes sense. It's just something I've always kind of wondered. I mean, it's you know those the little tiny fire safes that like you put your documents and shit in, but they're not really good for much of anything because if you drop them on the floor at the right angle, they pop open.
Yeah,
you know, I've always heard those are if fire even gets close to it, the papers inside start melting.
And those don't have the seals on them. That's the problem with those ones. And it's like everybody says, it's you get what you pay for, unfortunately. But yeah, if you have it somewhere where there's not a bunch of combustibles, you're not going to get that much heat impingement on it anyways. Right, Rosie?
Right on. Right on.
I've been thinking about taking one of those you know, those big job box toolboxes, big chests, and lining the inside of that with 3 layers of 5/8. Because what you'd have then is something that's basically waterproof as long as the water's coming straight down.
Yeah, I like that idea of triple rocking a closet or something that's not used too much, and then put a real good rated door on that. I think that's a damn good idea.
Well, if you use a metal, even just use a metal and fiberglass door, and it's not a safe door, the metal fiberglass door has got a very good high fire rating to it.
Yeah, even a nice steel door.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're usually filled with some
Yeah,
kind of
for hollow to get the sound dead.
Those were bitching, and they come with wheels, most of them.
That's a good idea, because you know, Rick, being in fire services about rock, sheet rock, and stuff's going to withstand an inferno.
It'll hold up to fire a lot better than will water. Well, like Pops was saying, that's a good thing. If you can encompass it in a metal waterproof, nothing's waterproof, nothing's fireproof. There ain't no such thing as proof, except for whiskey. But yeah, if you can keep it dry, those layers of drywall are gonna definitely.
You could probably have a shop could fabricate sheet metal to do a box frame within.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. We'll take about 3 layers of sheetrock, about this big, and we'll put it inside a big ammo can. And at Farmageddon, we'll put about 5 rounds inside of it, and we'll set it on top of the fire. And then we'll start a timer.
See who moves away from the fire first. It'll be like chicken.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you put 3 or 4 layers of 5/8 sheetrock on there, it's gonna be good, man. You ain't got to worry about much.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I've always wanted to do that. That'd be a cool experiment to do, but we'll probably be drinking and all, so it might not be a good idea.
We'll do it early.
No, do it late.
We could do it at breakfast, Pops.
Yeah, do it the next morning. That makes sense. Yeah.
Drinking at the farm? We never done that, have we?
Is that allowed?
Not yet.
I got a bottle here with
late
your name on it.
It's a dry county.
I got a bottle with Pop's name on it somewhere over here.
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time. Shit, I'll take you up on it.
Pops, are you
If
really
it
in a
ain't
dry
dry,
county?
there's a bottle of tequila down there.
No, it ain't no dry counties. Well, I don't know. There might be dry counties in South Carolina.
I didn't think there were down there. You kind of surprised me for a minute.
No. It's all good where I'm at.
No dry counties in South Carolina. That's North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, because they used to come across the state line to buy booze, I guess. Oh, that's the Canadian stuff. Oh, let me guess, you just wrote that on there.
Crown?
I got a bottle with your name on it, I said.
Crown Royal. All right, Pops, look at that.
I wasn't lying.
Your own signature bottle, Pops. You could make a trophy out of that for Farmageddon.
Well, I don't do much with Canadian whiskey, but I guess I could make an exception.
Oh, man.
Just give me bourbon.
Rick drinks some weird shit, man. He drinks this damn.
Oh, we'll do that one.
He drink. That's fine. That's still Canadian, but that's fine. Rick drinks this damn Fireball with freaking iced tea or some shit. What is that crap you drink? What's
Fireball.
that? With what? Like some kind of.
No, it's just Fireball and ice.
Fireball and ice water.
That Jim Beam Fireball.
You're supposed to shoot that, not drink it.
It's supposed to come out of the end of my barrel.
Yeah, I'm in Honduras right now. I'm trying to get back to the States. Just bear with me.
Pops is undercover.
He's
Undisclosed
incognito.
location.
Hey, it's part of the job, man. Don't laugh at me. I'm trying to smuggle in a bunch of ammo. Y'all cut me some slack. You'll thank me when the price. You'll thank me when the prices go down.
I want to get some coordinates there, Pops.
I've been drinking this Canadian Hunter here lately. It's pretty. It's cheap, but it's pretty good.
Pops won't talk to you if you drink Canadian shit, obviously.
One of my best
Canadian.
Yeah, one of my best friends' dad used to drink that. We used to hang out all the time. He used to let me hit it all the time. So it's basically a cheaper Crown. That's all that is. It's a blend, Canadian blend, right?
It's got a little bit of a caramel or whatever, almost a hint of sweetness, but it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty good.
There's nothing wrong with Canadian whiskey. I'm just giving y'all a hard time.
Hey, the best part about Crown, well, one of the best parts about Crown is it comes with the fishing reel case every time.
Yeah. Oh, the dope smuggler's bag.
Exactly.
I'll stick to our own moonshine.
Works perfect.
That Rick brought down. He was a big Fireball guy. Yeah.
That sounds good. I like drinking it with a little bit of water and ice. And then turn it into a drink. I don't like shots, so I just have a big shot all night.
But for anybody watching, that's after the shooting happens. We wasn't drinking and shooting.
Nice save.
We might spill something.
Yeah, exactly.
Ice. It's this stuff in Arizona till dark. Unless we got night optics and we're shooting shit at night.
Yeah, we stocked the place with fireworks. We're gonna have some good fireworks.
Yeah.
But we're gonna divide the place into teams.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Old school Roman candle war.
Yeah, everybody's up for a good battle. Just put
Do
the
you got
guns
any
on.
just regular bottle rockets?
No, I didn't get any of the simple little stuff, but I got stuff that'll send you to the hospital, which is more interesting.
I was gonna say we could get in cardboard boxes and you put a needle on the end and you shoot it over to your buddy's box and then it sticks in it and then it blows a little hole in it.
I'm gonna rent like 10 golf carts, and we're
Yeah.
gonna put rocket launchers on them, and we're gonna fucking play tank war games out in the field.
That's it. I'm gonna zip line with bottle rocket.
Everybody build their own battering ram for the.
It's gonna be
Well,
like,
the zip line will not be set up, and TR could tell you why. That's a lot of damn work. We ain't got time for all that, but maybe some other time. You can't zip line and shoot at the same time. I mean, not the way we've got it set up. So, but anyway.
Yeah, it was a great concept, but as far as for Farmageddon, the zip line wouldn't work. That's just for the kids to have fun on. That,
yeah,
that's the way I saw it too. I mean, it was fun. It was good to goof around with it, but hey, we'll do the zip line and shoot. But it's like, okay, somebody will get shot. We can't do this.
absolutely not going to happen. But you ever come to the farm and it's a small crowd, we'll hook it up and do it right. But there will be no shooting from the zip line.
ain't nobody got time for that anyways.
No, the day does go by fast. It blows by, really, unintended.
That's right. Get the timers out. It's gonna be a fun day.
It really does. It goes by quick. because I've been at the past too, and it's like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and at the end of the day, we didn't do half the shit we wanted to do. But it's like, damn, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. Like, time flies by. Not that they wasn't shooting from daylight to dark, you know.
No, what's your guys's like? Whenever you guys kind of thinking when it's going to happen, like, you know, what time does it get light in the morning to what time does it get dark at night?
Well, there's a couple options to look at. There's a thing that comes up and then you can see, and then there's a thing that goes down and then you can't see.
This is how it works. We get up and eat breakfast. Once everybody's done breakfast, we start shooting, and we don't stop until somebody wants to have a beer, and then we stop and drink and eat, and that's pretty much the way it goes. And that's usually, I mean, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock. That's a lot of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long day. I mean, we stop for lunch and all, but by the time you're done with that day, you'll have it all done.
You better have
You'll be worn out. And it won't be. It's not that there'll be times that we're all doing the same thing. Times there's people skeet shooting, there's people long range shooting, there's people horse, all at the same time. So it's not like a event to where, you know, this, and this happens. It's just everywhere.
It's an organized free for all.
Sounds like Farmageddon. Boom.
Yeah. So
it'll be
organized free for all.
The only time that it'll probably be somewhat organized is the pistol course, because you're putting yourself in harm's way a little bit there, so there can't be some other bullshit going on. They could be people skeet shooting, but other than that, when we do the pistol course, that'll be the only time that everything's kind of shut down on that part of the rank or that part of the farm doing the pistol course.
Yeah, and usually at the end of the day is when we shoot the 50 cal, and everybody kind of comes to that area when we do that, and that's usually the end of the day. That's usually a good way to end of the day. Put about 300 rounds of 50 cal downrange.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do a little more on Friday because I know Sunday everybody kind of bugs out, which I totally understand. So we're going to, yeah, I think what we'll do is anyone that shows up Friday, we'll do the 3-gun because that's a lot of fun and it'll be a smaller crowd. Do the, you know, at Farmageddon, it was a lot of fun. So we'll do the 3-gun on Friday, but we'll separate everything for Saturday.
What time do you think you'll be there Friday?
I'll be there Thursday.
Oh, you will?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so whenever you want to get there Friday, we'll 3-gun, and then Saturday will be the normal deal. So because I know it'll be a smaller crowd Friday. We can do shit like that on Friday, which we can't do on Saturday.
Yeah, or maybe do it right after lunch if a bunch of people want to do it again or something.
Yeah, but you got to set up and take up. You got to take up the field,
clays,
the pistol court. You got to take up the whole place. So
that's right. I forgot about that.
It doesn't make sense unless you just do it Friday or Sunday. How about we do it Friday, and anybody that missed it does it Sunday morning can do that. You know,
that's a good plan, Rob.
That way Saturday's a free for all, but Friday and Sunday morning can be the little 3-gun thing.
That's cool. You're doing the target thing again.
Yeah, and the all steel pistol course is going to be awesome. It's going to be cool. Oh yeah, and the souvenir targets for the 50. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, I'll put it next to the other one.
Yeah.
Boom.
Get one every year.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be a lot more fun this year having a couple of these things behind me. They're easier to set up, you know, after doing them. There you go.
There it is.
Mine laying here is my prop. So that's 2016. So the next one will say 2017.
What the fuck did you shoot the 2 for?
Hey, I actually got my bullet back. The 50 cal is actually sticking in the damn target right there.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. There's a metal plate behind it, Blue. So what happened was it basically came back.
That was the coolest target of the whole shoot because it hit the steel and came back and stuck into the target and stayed there. Pretty badass.
Is it still in there, TR?
Yeah.
Cool. I couldn't tell on the screen. Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, it shed its copper jacket. That was just a lead in the projectile. It shed the copper and popped back, and just the lead popped it back in it.
Right, Rosie?
Right on. I hope to make it down. Drive my camper van down.
That's right. Get in the mobile and start driving. Six more months and we'll be at Farmageddon.
6 more months.
I got all family down in Asheville and everywhere down there in Harlan County, Kentucky, and everywhere. So.
Y'all don't have to wrap this up, but I got to take off. I got to get to bed.
I was literally just typing the same thing on the internal. I'm like, I got to get going.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I want everybody to do an outro, and we'll shut this down. I got to go to work tomorrow myself, so it's been right at 2 hours, so that's close enough. And I'll start with Blue. Would you like to do a outro?
No, just thanks for the chat as always. It was a good time. Great hearing the reports from Rosie and hearing from Pops and Six and yourself. And again, I'll do a shout out for one of the guys that's always out in the comments, the Bizza Rizza Gizza. If he's still out there, put your name up there again. Just type a comment. He's doing his, I think it was a 3,000 subscriber giveaway. Great channel. So if you're still out there, buddy, put your stuff up there so that people can click on it and sub him up. He's a good guy. That's all I got.
Hey, Pops Quest, would you like to do an outro, man?
I don't have really a whole lot to say except appreciate you having me on. They're always fun. Tuesday night's the only night I usually get to get on. So Rosie, Rick, Blue, TR, appreciate it.
Thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it. Rick, is your 6 covered? Go ahead, man.
Appreciate the invite. Thanks again, you guys, for showing up and supporting TR and his channel. Got a couple new videos out that came out today. Get a chance, go check them out. And could always use an additional subscriber. So don't be scared. No, thanks again, guys. Thanks again, TR. Nice talking to all you guys. And see you guys on the next one.
All right, thanks for coming on, man. Rosie, would you like to do an outro?
Yeah, great chat as usual, TR. Thanks. Great to see Pops and Blue and Rick. Everybody stay safe, TR, and see you next week.
All right, thanks for coming on, Rosie. I always appreciate your point of view on the economic and political situation going on. And thanks, guys. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to do an outro because evidently you're here, so you already know my channel. So anyway, later, everybody.